Amount of hype. Every single window I see for the Reggae Boyz. Oh, this guy's coming in. Oh, look at the player we're calling up right now. Oh, we have a new manager. Everything's gonna change. And every single window, they underperform, underperform, underperform.
It is the obvious truth that the Jamaica men's national football team has been underperforming for a good while now. However, now is not the time for us to argue. Now is not the time for us to stress. We have time on our hand to make a difference, and it has to happen before it's too late. Greetings and welcome to another episode on Premier 7 with your host, Ryan Nelson. I hope that even though you're stressed, your day is somewhat better than the norm. People, today I am here to talk about a very important topic surrounding Jamaica men's national football team identity, strong pedigree, but what is missing? Do you think we have pedigree? If not, you're sure that something is missing from the national team. People, I just want to dive right into the importance of today's video. But before I do that, as you can see on screen, I have 1,996 subscribers, 4 away from the landmark of 2,000. So if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. So let's dive into the news that was being published in the Observer. So JFF promises pleasing decision for angry fans after Gold Cup disappointment. Jamaica Football Federation JFF President Michael Ricketts says several issues will be addressed regarding what he describes as a poor showing by the Reggae Boyz at the CONCACAF Gold Cup recently. Further on, Ricketts, who was speaking at the relaunch of the JFF's coaching education program on Thursday morning, said it was necessary to apologize to the public for the team's performances, which he described as disappointing. Ricketts said the public will be informed of the decision as soon as they are made, and he believes it will please the fans. Now, I have to say, well said by Mr. Ricketts, and it is accepted that he comes out to the public and address us that, we have been disappointing in the Gold Cup. It is not something that we expected, but we are going to see how well we can adjust the problem in time. And I believe that you guys will be happy about it. Well, one thing I know for sure is that words that are being said cannot be changed, and the facts are there in the papers. So we are expecting for a big change in the JFFs, right? By way of the President Michael Ricketts. And in that case, I am hoping then that you guys do not blunder, because World Cup qualifiers is just around the corner, and there's a big gap, about 2 to 3 months time, that you guys can go about in making a difference for the country and to save the reputations of yourselves. It's really a case now that we should recognize who we are, what we stand for, and what we really do as a nation. So when watching Jamaica playing, it is clear that we play like the Africans country. Not all of them, but some, and a mixture of a country in the CONCACAF region. So we play like Ghana, Nigeria, and sometimes Canada. Do you agree? Well, this is what I would say. We play fast, we play physical, and we play direct. Also, our biggest weapons, explosive pace on the wings, as we can see by way of Ronaldo Cephas, sometimes a Kaim Dixon, the dribbling ability by Leon Bailey. Powerful forwards who can beat defenders one-on-one. Well, it is in the capabilities of our players. For example, our veteran in a Michael Antonio, and we're looking at other players like the Keenan Davis. Those body positions or those body status do shows us that we are somewhat similar. And not to forget a Shamar Nicholson, he fits right into the gap. Furthermore, a midfield that fights hard and break up plays. Now, remember, I am comparing us to who we play like, because it is seen that Jamaica over the years do possesses such quality. I mean, one of the key names that stands out is a Rudolph Austin. And our players right now, like Jonathan Russell, who is very much tall, Isaac Hayden, they do have the capabilities to break up plays and to fight and to do what is necessary for the national team, even though we struggle tactically. Now, I mean, for sure, Jamaica likes to play attacking football, especially on the counter, or let's say quick transition, but this style can be very much predictable. Persons are seeing how we play and they're setting us up to fail. Just to say, look at how we play against Panama as the most recent games, and they just set up themselves as a powerful team and defeat us off the park. In the case of defense, defensively shaped, we can be very much flat. And even though Coach Al Grimson, he gives us that platform or that built defense, I mean, it is not the best at this point. So, thing is, our midfield becomes very much flat, and our, well, not our midfield really alone, our defense and the midfield becomes very much flat, and we often rely on skills over football positions. And then again, not all of our footballers in the camp are skilled. If I should point on one or two, Leon Bailey is a flair player, and Robin Marshall, who is not getting any games really, are the two names that comes to mind. And we have to do something about it. We have to start playing to our strengths. So playing to our strength is something that should answer how we are going to go about in playing the upcoming games. Playing to our strength is key, and when we do that, we basically improves on our weaknesses. So what we can do is to maximize pace and power. Use quick wingers and forwards to stretch defense and create chances. Jamaica's speed is something that we were born with. Jamaicans are some of the fastest players on the planet, even though football isn't played by way of speed, but it can be a tactics that we use as our signature. I mean, even the new recruits that we brought in, the Motherzill, the Borrells, the Campbells, they are not slow players. They are strong physical players who have pace, who have dribbling skills, and they can improve to become better. So we do have something to offer to the footballing space. The midfield needs to be solidified. We need a solid midfield. The midfield should be balanced with, let's say, aggressive, smart ball retention and players who can win back the ball, which is very much important. And I think you guys have said that several times, but I have to be repeating it because it is necessary. Because when we have a midfielder who can hold the ball in this position or to win the tackle, let's say our DM in a Isaac Hayden, he really plays well in controlling the tempo of the games and help us to dictate our passes. I was watching a stream yesterday or a video, whereas I saw someone providing a reflection of the importance of a Ravel Marson, who splits the defense, drop into the back line, not to say he's a DM, but when the ball is in our position, he creates that space. So he drops and collect, dictates the game, look for the necessary passes, not to say go long at all times, but to find players and to dictate the way how Jamaica should play. And it's a case now to say then that the football team will not only rely on long balls, because we do not do well with long balls in the here, people. We don't have persons who can really control the ball, even though we have strong players. The opposition teams, even though they may not be stronger than us, they are using a team format to defeat us. So with the likes of a Ravel Morrison, for example, and let's say a Brandon Cover, if he's given the chance, which is necessary, then we can have a better midfield in terms of allowing players like even a Jonathan Russell to have that license to go forward more time and to contribute defensively, but not to take on so much pressure. Now, the defense was somewhat improved by Al Grimson, but I won't say that Coach McLean has really disrupted it, but our defense has become a problem. I said it before that the names Damian Lowe and Richard King should not be playing together because they are somewhat similar. And now I also hear then that Ethan Pinnock and Richard King should not be playing together as well. So what is going to happen? We have to find the defenders who can complement each other. The names like Alembi Kisa and Amari Bell, those guys are not biters as tacklers. So that is the reason why I was always talking about a Dujon Sterling, but he is out because of a long-term injury. We're not getting a max orange, it seems. So we have to find the formula. We have to find the formula. Deshaun Bernard has not returned as yet. He was a very much composed player. Yes, he has his bits of errors, but he's a player who I think was developing and becoming one of our leading defenders in the back line. But let's say then Damian Lowe and the man himself, Ethan Pinnock, more so is going to be the starters. And we have to do something with the right back in games where we have to be balanced with defense, and also for the left hand side. I think it is more so solvable on the left hand side, seeing that we have a mixture of a Greg Lane and a Amari build. Also, we have to use our set pieces effectively. Jamaican can be a threat from corners and free kicks, but we're not capitalizing on such. We have to build a routine. We have to build some form of tactics. Look on some other clubs and see how well we can adapt to their style of play. We have to identify what goes best for us. But we have to find a tactical approach to take our set pieces and to score a goal. We cannot be the same because we will be found out, for which we are already being found out. Now, we have to build our chemistry. Many Jamaican players come from different leagues and different systems. So we have to have some form of objectives that we have to follow, or some form of criteria. This is how we should play here. This is how we should play there. Because, I mean, other nations have been playing with players who are not only playing in the country, but also in big European nations. So they're adapting and bringing across what they have learned. And because they're being watched by way of scouts, the scouts would then again record the notes, or let's say videos, because technology has improved these days, and brought those back to the coaching system and implement it into what they need to do to improve the team and to go forward. Now, Jamaica football pedigree, to me, it is real because we have qualified for the World Cup in '98, and that was historic for the Caribbean country, or for the Caribbean region. I mean, I think we have been the first country to qualify for the World Cup. The history shows, so the data will not be erased. And if it is being erased, the history cannot be erased. And we have to bring back those glory days because, I mean, we have been not only doing well to qualify for the World Cup in '98, but we have been such presence in the CONCACAF region in Gold Cup. We have qualified for multiple semi-finals and finals. Yes, we have been disappointed with this one, which was a shocker. But the reputation that we have showed in the past, that not only the World Cup qualifiers that we have went through to finish in the spot to play in the '98 World Cup, but we have played very much well in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We can do it again. And for sure, we have players who I mentioned before, the youngsters and the existing ones. We have a mixture of senior players and young players. Yes, we may not be playing in the best leagues, but there has to be something that can help us to become better. Because the talent is here, but something is holding us back. And I think it is the tactics or the politics. It is preventing us from being consistent. It is not helping us to develop, and our leadership is very much weak. So other nations have reached their objectives. For example, the Japans, for which we defeated in '98. Japan has qualified for almost all World Cups, if not all World Cups thereafter. So Jamaica has to become committed now and to fix the problems right now before it is too late, because we need a clear style of play and build short-term to long-term vision that will help us to become proper known football nation. Because we have a name in all sports, but come on, the truth is we're bad at football. And people, before I even talk about the missing piece, I will remind you that I have 1,996 subscribers. And if you want to hear more from Premier 7, please go ahead and smash the subscription button. Comment on the video as well, because when you do so, YouTube will help it along the way, because I am in that mindset to believe that Jamaica can make it to the World Cup, but the obvious truth is that we are in a bad position. So what is the missing piece, or what is missing from Jamaica football? We're talented, we have passion, but our tactics, consistency, team chemistry, and leadership and vision is the main problem. Let's be real, we have talents here now. Remember, people say that Jamaica football is horrendous, but we have good players. We have a diaspora of players who we can pull from. And we're not playing better than other teams who are down below us. So it is not a case of talents, it's a case of the structure that we are having a significant issue with. So if we can build a system around our natural strength, the pace, the power, those key things that we have identified because we're similar to Africans, of course, and fix those gaps, then Jamaica can rise and exceed from being underdogs to true contenders in CONCACAF. And if we're contenders in CONCACAF, then we will be booking our spots in World Cup, right? So it is not something that we really need to stress and to talk about often because it is obvious. So there's no need to be talking about it, breaking it down, because it can be a fix. May not be easy by word of mouth, but it is obvious that this is the problem and it has to be adjusted. So people, what do you think about the topic that has been shared? I know it may not be the best time, but I would love for you guys to interact because this video needs to go out there. So Jamaica men's national team football identity, strong pedigree, but what is missing? Well, I've just shared my points on such, and I would love for you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section, because when you do comment and interact with the video, you know Premier 7 will be on board to reply. So take care, goodbye, until we meet again.